Are you wondering if you're pregnant? Do you still have 2 weeks to wait to take a test? Then keep watching. I will tell you about my earliest pregnancy symptoms before the big fat positive. Hi girls, welcome to my channel. My name is Karina. In this video I'm going to share with you how I knew I was pregnant before taking a test. When I had my 2 weeks wait, I watched a bunch of videos like this and they really helped me to understand what was going on. First things first, to distinguish early pregnancy symptoms, you need to know your usual PMS symptoms very well. You really need to listen to your body when you're trying to understand whether you're pregnant or not. Some girls say they didn't have any early pregnancy symptoms, but I think in most cases it's because they didn't expect to get pregnant. So let me tell you what symptoms I had one by one. Mild cramps in lower abdomen. This sign was the very first one when I said to myself, okay, that's really something I have never had before, because it happened in 8 to 10 days after conception, when I still had at least 2 weeks until my period and cramps to come. These cramps felt like the ones I have during my period, but with mild intensity. That day I had them for a good hour. It wasn't painful, but I could definitely feel them. Next 2 days I had the same cramping here and there for 2-3 minutes several times a day. Apparently it was a sign of the fertilized egg moving through my fallopian tube to my uterus in order to implant in there. The next clear sign was implantation bleeding. It is a TMI part of this video, so if you don't want to hear this, just skip to the next symptom. Anyways, on the 3rd day of having cramps, around 10 to 12 days after conception, I've got a bit of pink and brown discharge. That day I got it twice and the next day again. I couldn't believe my eyes because I knew what it meant. That's when I was 90% sure I was pregnant and I still had 1 week until taking the test. I want to mention that implantation discharge cannot be red. It should be brown and or pink. Also, it is not bleeding. Really, it is just a discharge that you get a couple of times a day. At least that is what my research showed, and it is exactly what happened to me. But everybody is different, so keep that in mind. Another clear sign I had before my BFP is a strong lower backache. It felt just like the backache I usually get when I'm actually in my period, but I never had this pain that early in the cycle. After I took a test, so from 4th week of pregnancy, backache was coming every single day for a week or two. One day it was stronger, one day it was weaker, but later on it was not that often. Next symptom I want to mention is hunger. I started being extra hungry in a couple of days after conception, and the food I was craving always tasted so good, especially chipotle and dates. Usually it happens to me a day or two before I get my period, so it was strange too. Another symptom is getting extra emotional and dizzy. I have always been very sensitive, but again, that emotional I could be only during or right before my period. That time it was way too early to cry for every little thing. One more sign was an everyday bloating. Like with other symptoms I have mentioned, it came too early for my usual cycle. Closer to the day I finally got my big fat positive, I felt like my period is about to come because of this heavy feeling in lower abdomen. So it is completely true that all early pregnancy symptoms are very similar to PMS. The only common symptom I didn't have is swollen and sensitive breast, but I got it right after I took a test though. Okay girls, I hope I cleared up some things for you. Let me know in comments below if you're having any of these or other symptoms right now, and if this video was useful, make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button to see more helpful videos. I want to wish you an easy pregnancy and see you next week. Bye!